Yeah, we did.
Yeah, it's just beautiful. This is why we can never paint this car.
Nobody's on here.
I mean, nobody's on there.
You're not talking to
Well, we're done. It's over. Let's just pack it in.
Okay.
Maybe we should restart. We could rumble or something.
Oh,
So-
just one person.
This is why we can never paint the car. Because of the model that our viewers sent. That's just like so perfect. It's like, it's exact.
Mitten Made Muscle, what's up?
Mint Made Muscle, what's happening?
Dickie Farley.
Yeah, it's just,
Beautiful.
I love that.
It's beautiful.
And he made the one for Bottle Rocket also.
Which is at the shop.
Yeah,
Blue Bar.
another one that can never get painted.
Ford LTD 1976.
What's up, guys?
James Fife.
Oh, let me get this thing out of my pocket.
Uncle Mark's DIY Automotive Fix-It channel. We got. Oh, what is that?
Oh, I go after the show tonight. I have to go by the bus depot.
Yeah.
I got to take some measurements.
For what?
Greyhound's got some new buses,
Yeah.
and I want to know what the ground clearance was.
Yeah.
All right, well.
For what?
So what's going on, guys?
Chuck Nance. Dean Brown. Zero.
Zero.
Steve Roma. Bobby C. Two Hacks.
Two hacks. What's happening, man?
Bill McKiska.
Jeff, you're really a vintage drag racing guy, aren't you? I was just looking at your channel. I guess it was yesterday, day before yesterday. You post some really neat stuff, man.
Andrew White. Jimmy Obbs. Let's see. Chris Greenaway.
Chris Greenaway. How's the 1972 Mercury Martigo going?
Is that funny, Simon?
He's still battling with the Smithsonian for ownership of this last one.
What's up, numbnuts? Braz Williams, why aren't you outside? It's cold.
Yeah, Burr.
Burr.
Yeah.
It's freezing.
Winter hits Tennessee.
Haas Cartwright,
It'll be like
Douglas
60
Feller,
tomorrow, but today is it's cold.
Iceman, 2K10. The transmission video was very well done, Tony. He said.
Thank you very much.
New Metal says, great show.
Thank you.
So what are you measuring, Tony?
Oh, I got to go up to the Greyhound Depot. The buses there. And I'm curious about the space underneath.
Yeah.
You know, clearance and width. And just to see what I could, you know, if I had to fit something from somebody under there. I know how much room I got. Ahead of time. See what I'm saying? You got to plan ahead. That's the key to success.
Is it?
Yes. That's right. Failure to plan is planning to fail. Every measurement.
How's your...
It's time for dark Tony tonight.
I think it's going over everybody's head.
It probably is. No, the people who need to see it. I can see them all now, like the troll patrol. He's joking around about throwing things under the bus.
Yeah, Dark Tony.
Dark Tony.
Sorry, guys.
Oh,
Sometimes
God.
we have to have fun.
You have to have fun. If you
Yeah.
take this so seriously, you'll go insane.
What's up, Andy from Unity
He's
Motorsports
making
Garage?
jokes about throwing people under the bus.
Okay.
Their heads are exploding.
Why so serious?
I can't help it, man. I'm in a dark mood tonight. You know?
Oh, yeah. What's up, Franco?
Was that Andy? Andy popped in and
Yeah,
Franco.
Andy's here. Yeah. This guy can't even kill a guy, and the guy stayed dead. 0 cents.
Franco, have you been paying any attention to like the no prep scene? Like the not like no prep kings and all that stuff, but the actual like real, you know, like the war in the woods sort of stuff. Because man, if that doesn't remind me of the old days, like nothing does. Andy and I are actually planning on hitting an event together this, I guess it's in February. But yeah, Franco, like the spirit of drag racing, the way we knew it, is still alive. But it's being done in these like weird little locations. What's the name of that channel I've been watching?
Which
I've
one?
been catching those videos. Oh God, what was the name of it? Drag or Die.
Is that what it is?
Is that what it is? Yeah, I think it's Drag or Die TV.
Okay.
And I'm hooked. I'm hooked.
Are you hooked? Do you need a Mustang?
Yeah, I'm hooked.
I like the Mustangs.
There's a lot of Mustangs.
There's a lot of
Fox
Mustangs.
bodies. No, but I could see some of our stuff being set up to go like that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Or a Mustang.
No more Mustangs. No more Mustangs. Andy will get a Mustang.
Mike Brunella says, who are you throwing under the bus?
Nobody! I've never thrown anybody under the bus today. Yeah. But it's early.
It's early. It is dark, Tony. Okay. Hope we don't drop out this week. Yes, J. Russell Finch. I don't know what happened. You know, I think there's something. It's been slow. Our internet's been slow.
You know, there's been weird stuff going on with like YouTube analytics.
Yeah.
Like the other day they wiped out like $5,000.
Gone.
Yeah, because I check. You know, like, gee, I wonder how much money we get in the end of the month. It's all gone.
It happened to a lot of people.
Yeah, they just like, it was like $5,000. Just gone like that.
Channels that make real money lost a lot more than that.
Oh yeah, channels that make real money.
Let's see.
But it came back like 2 days later.
They fixed it.
I was still though. I'm like, okay, I got to start taking in customer work. YouTube is done, you know.
We could do that. That might be fun.
What, taking customer work?
Yeah.
I'm still having fun
I
with
know
this.
you are.
I'm still having fun with this.
The signal is being jammed by trolls, Paul Cavazola.
Possibly, yes, possibly.
Joe K says, I'm still laughing at a comment from last Sunday.
Which one?
Tony and Kathy, best looking couple on YouTube. Is that funny, Joe K? Dirty Knobs.
You never see her.
No. Because I don't want to deal with it. Somewhat Fast says, best looking couple on YouTube. That was me. Funny. Good evening, Earthicans. World of Woodchip. That sounds like an interesting channel.
What is it?
World of Woodchip.
World of Woodchip. Good evening, human. Hello, humans.
Hello, humans.
Hello, humans. Hello, humans. He's my favorite. Guy. You know, I'm a conspiracy guy, right? Like, I'm the original conspiracy guy. I was conspiracy 25 years ago.
You can't even mention his name on
It's all coming true.
YouTube.
You can't mention his name on YouTube, right? No,
Yeah.
he's got a channel. He posts on it.
Yeah, but he has to like cut everything out.
Yeah, he has to censor himself
Silence.
all the time. But the guy we're talking about is Cliff High. He's just amazing.
Yeah. UTG mozzarella electronic conversions. Oh, have we tried to make anything run on mozzarella lately?
No, but we will.
Okay.
We will. I have to find somebody with a diesel.
Okay.
Yes. My plan is to run a vehicle, actually drive a vehicle on mozzarella. But I have to find somebody around here that has a diesel we can screw around with a little bit.
What's the plan for Plan Z next year?
Just to run it. Just to go run it and see how fast we can go. Normally aspirated.
Rice bowls? Yeah, we'll be making rice bowls. Christmas.
Yes. That's coming up fast, right? Thanksgiving is this week.
Please. This whole year.
Friday I'm going to North Carolina.
Flying. Friday you going?
Friday I'm going, yeah.
I'm not going with you.
No,
I'm staying here.
you're staying home and taking care of the dogs.
Oh.
And I'm going to David Vizard's and Andy Wood's place.
Okay, that's fine. You can have some
I
dark
guess-
time with
yes.
them.
I guess we'll do a live like Friday night. I'll be back Saturday.
Okay. Let's see. Captain John H. says, howdy, Tony and Kathy.
What's happening, Captain John?
Dennis Connor says, I was there in 1977.
You were where in 1977?
Wherever he was.
Oh, well, I was someplace too.
Franco says, Tony, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm an agenda observer.
Thank you. That's
Very
good.
good.
I like
That's
that.
very good,
I like
Franco.
that. I like that.
Chris Golden says, Tony, do you work on Chevy Novas? Where are you located?
I don't work on anything except stuff for the channel because it's like a conflict of interest. I've got a couple of guys from Lebanon. We're going to be doing an engine at my place, and he was like, they brought parts for me to look at yesterday, and he's like, well, we got to take care of your time. And I said, no, you can't do that because in my mind it's conflict of interest. So I'm making my money from producing YouTube videos. I can't double dip and take money from customers. It's just not right unless that's the channel. Like for instance, Kiwi.
Right.
Kiwi posts stuff that he's doing.
I think
with
that would
customized
be fun, though, because you never know what's coming in. You know what I mean?
At some point, yeah, I need to have more than just me as a regular. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't found the right person yet.
Where's your tape measure? Your bus measurer, is that what that is?
Yes.
John.
I should do a video on measuring the underneath the buses.
Okay.
Just in case anybody's curious.
Because
what can
Tony
fit.
is Italian, what automotive fluids has he replaced with olive oil?
None yet, but maybe we could do that.
Sarah says, okay, boss, I'm on my way. Haha.
Olive oil's too expensive, otherwise that would be a pretty good video. You know, can you run an engine replacing the oil with olive oil? It costs like $300 to fill the crankcase.
Zero says he's coming to work for you.
Come on, Zero. Mi casa, su casa. And I'll throw this away for you.
No bus for Zero.
No bus for Zero.
Okay, Vincent wants to know, what happened to Stubby's turbo slant? We should probably take that video down because it's not going to continue.
Well, wait. It is going to continue, but not
differently.
with Stubby.
Right. But it's very hard to... Don't say it.
I'm not gonna say it.
Right.
I'll only say
Stubby is
moved on.
right.
Stubby himself.
No arguments, no bus throwing.
Right.
It's just he had to.
Although
he
he
has other
would fit
things.
real easy.
He has other things that he has to take care of that he's busy with.
Yes.
So
Stubby himself is gone. Very gone. But his car and all of the parts remain. And I gave the car and the turbo.
Because his grandmother gave you the car and the parts.
It's a long story.
It's a long, convoluted story.
It's a long, weird, convoluted story. But
Tony had to get the car out. Tony helped get the car out. He moves the car. It was just a crazy thing.
the only reason the car ended up at my shop was because his grandmother insisted that he get it out.
Yeah,
of
it
the
had
house.
to get out of where it was.
So it came to my shop, and I was told that he just wanted to get it running. But that wasn't really the whole story.
Yeah.
So as it turned out, I tried to send the car back. and the grandmother says, well, just call the junkyard.
Right, yeah.
And I was like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
So the car now, the engine, well, not the engine, the turbocharger, yeah, the engine, well, whatever. The car and all of the bits that went with it now belong to Buff Del Campo.
Yeah.
He's even got a title for it. So I gave him that.
Yeah.
And him and Kim from Kim's Fixes Things are working on that car. And we'll follow up on it as they go along.
Abel D says, Burbank in the house.
Burbank!
What's up, Abel
I've
D?
never been to Burbank.
Have you not?
At least the dogs are barking. Thank God. Because
Yeah, I
you
was
can't see a
worried.
Sunday Night Live without the dogs barking.
Okay.
Tom, I'm gonna go measure.
Go measure the
I'm gonna go
dogs.
measure the dogs.
Come right back. All right.
Hey!
Sorry.
We're doing YouTube!
No, we don't own a dog farm. We have 4 dogs. Okay. You only see 9 likes. Long live Buff. No charging is bad alternator. Okay, Uncle Tony, forgive me. I was talking to someone from Huntington Beach. Oh. Okay. Oh, okay. Wish I live in Tennessee. Oh, he's coming. They want a cookie. Yeah.
I gave them cookies.
You gave them cookies? Okay, good.
Bread cookies. I love their bread cookies. Okay, where were we?
Wish I live in Tennessee so I could show you my 1955 Plymouth Pizza Station wagon. Oh, Pizza Plaza Station wagon. Sorry.
We're in Murfreesboro.
A pizza wagon would be cool though.
Yes.
I think I'm hungry.
You're
Because I
always
read
hungry.
plaza as pizza.
Yeah. Well, we ate the Indian today. You didn't.
Yeah. I didn't eat that much though.
You didn't, no.
Michael and Marvin, the Chrysler Kit Car.
You didn't try to lamb Kamiba.
No, I didn't. Uncle Kathy, are you still selling parts? I need a passenger fender for a 75 Scamp. Thank you.
No, I'm not selling any parts. I don't know why I wouldn't have one of those fenders either.
You don't have
No, see, that's another conflict. If the channel was based on the selling of parts or the selling of things, the flipping of cars and whatnot, then yes, I would do that. But the channel isn't. So to
Tony
me,
won't
it's
let
like
me
a
sell
conflict.
parts.
It's a conflict of interest for me to do anything other than what we present. You know, if at some point we change the focus of the channel a little bit, which is
Right.
always possible, where we're buying and selling things or whatever, then yeah, profit
Yeah.
is all about it. But
Right. Let's see. Give them weed cookies. Make them sleep. They have CBD stuff for dogs.
they do.
But it's like really expensive, so I haven't bought it. It's crazy expensive.
Yeah.
Gummies and things for them. Uh, let's see. Michael says he understands.
You mean
What?
you mean you're cheap enough that you won't swing for dope for our dogs?
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Don't get cookies. That's as far as I go. This is not conflict of interest advice. So,
No, in my mind, that's a conflict of interest. Unless you're specifically saying, yes, I flip things,
right.
you know, and I don't. So therefore,
No,
you know.
we don't. Let's see. Good evening to the only real entertainment in my life, David Farrell says.
That's scary.
Thank you for the infinite knowledge you provide.
I appreciate that, but that's scary. There's a lot of good stuff in entertainment wise.
Well, thank you. That's very
Yeah,
nice.
I do appreciate it.
What is that model in the thumbnail? Someone sent it to you?
Yeah, I have a viewer, and forgive me for not remembering his name now.
It should be underneath the box on a piece of paper, actually.
Yes,
Yes,
okay.
it is.
And I don't have glasses.
Oh, here, take my glasses. But then I can't read the comments, so give them back.
Yes.
Ah.
So one of our viewers, R.J. Kiley from Pittsburgh, made us two models, and one of them is this one here, which is Plan Z, which, as you know, is the next car up on our rotation. So he made us a model of Plan Z and of Bottle Rocket, and he spent so much time. They're just beautiful, beautiful models. Even like, I don't know if you could see the details, but like inside the car, I painted the inside white, and it still has all the original
Move
like
your hand.
it still has all the original like framework, inner framework, and I didn't paint inside the framework, and he didn't either. So it's like, it's just beautiful, just absolutely beautiful. So, and Bottle Rocket is the same way. There's like a lot of paint defects on Bottle Rocket, and he copied them, and it's like now both of these cars are immortalized
Show
in
the back
plastic,
of it.
and I can't change any of it.
Underneath.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the hood doesn't open, but he's even got the exhaust just on the one side, a la Slant 6.
Nice.
And where I drilled holes in the frame, he's got, I Swiss cheese the frame. It's just beautiful detailed work. Got my STP stickers in the headlights.
Yeah, you did a really nice job.
Really beautiful job. And he did the same thing with Bottle Rocket.
We'll show that one next week.
Yes. Well, that one's at the shop. That one's in my office at the shop.
Can I have my glasses back?
So yeah, Plan Z is the next up on the rotation. I started pulling the slag hammer apart this morning. I got the intake manifold off and just started dicking around with it, and I got wrapped up with other stuff. But I'm taking that apart now, so that should be back together again shortly. But Plan Z is the next one that we're actually going to focus on.
So Joe K is saying, so whatever you change on Plan Z appearance-wise, you have to also change on that model.
Well, that's why I can't change anything.
Never gonna change it now.
I did change the front wheels.
You did?
Yeah, it's got lighter front wheels on it now, but I've still got these, so I go back and forth, I guess.
What's up, B-Fog?
Or I could send it back to him and have him upgrade the model.
Yeah, don't make him do that. Tony, when will you be giving away a car like other channels on YouTube?
I've already given cars away. I gave the jet guys. I gave a car. Buff. I gave a car to. Who else? I know I gave a car to somebody else. Who was it?
I don't know.
No. Well, I don't want to do a gimmick giveaway.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's so you'll never. That's okay. So things you'll never see us do on this channel. There's like ask for subs, ask for likes, ask for shares. Never, right? If you like the stuff that we do, you'll do it. You'll like it, you'll share it, you'll subscribe. But you'll never see us asking for that. And we don't do contests like to try to promote ourselves. Well, we feel that if our material itself isn't good enough to gain us the subs and the views that we're looking for, that we need to keep going, then we're doing the wrong thing. So we stay away from that type of gimmicks.
Okay, can I have a dart with a 1,000 HP twin inline sixes.
Can you? Sure.
Sure, okay.
Okay.
Mozzarella diesel dart.
Oh, yeah, I have to find somebody with a diesel. I have plans to drive a car on mozzarella.
Uh-oh, okay. Bill McKiska sent you $10.
Thank you, Bill.
Name suggestion for your 318 that you're doing with DV and Andy. Project numbers matching.
It's already kind of in there as far as like Mission Impossible, you know. And Andy, so Just Mopar Joe sent Andy a package of stuff that he could start working on. Just Mopar Joe wanted to get involved in the project, so he had some stuff he wanted to donate. So he's already sent those parts to Andy, and Andy's going to start working on it. And he sent him a little carded DVD. And I'm sure when Andy took it out of the package, he was like, "What the hell am I going to do with this pimple?"
Eric Unkefer, I don't know if I'm saying that properly. Says UTG. Says smaller lob depersonalization angle equal less timing.
Who?
Lob depersonalization angle?
Lobe?
Lobe? Lob. It just says LOB.
I try not to depersonalize my distributors. I like to
Depersonalization
give them
angle.
names.
Well, does that equal less timing?
I like to sing to them. So, you know, and individual songs. You know,
Okay, so
I
I
make up a
guess you're not
song
gonna
for that
answer that.
distributor to keep it personalized. So I can't really relate.
George Washington says YouTubers that do gimmick giveaways are damned federalists. Let's see.
I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, I don't see people doing giveaways and stuff like that. And I'm like, damn them giving away stuff. I don't see it that way at all. It's just I don't want to do it. But I mean, it's.
Are you rolling a cigarette?
No,
I can't put that on camera.
I know it's under the table. Put it under the
Oh,
table.
okay. Under the table.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Nobody
Ah.
saw that.
All right.
So, no, I guess I have no problem when other people do it. I've promoted people who were doing giveaway, promoted their giveaways because that's how they see fit to do their thing. So I don't have any problem with other people doing it. I just don't feel right us doing it.
Right. So Watsanda to be says it's $300. Is $300 a good price for 3-speed A230 1971 vintage with shifter and rods?
Yeah, I think so. They're tough transmissions. It's every bit as strong as an 833. Yeah, if you can use it and you get the shifter and rods and everything else, sure, why not? That sounds like a good price.
Charles Manson wants to know, could you share the CR of Plan Z? Do you have any detonation issues?
Haven't had any detonation issues. I calculated it out. It's at one point it's like 11:8 to 1 static. I don't know what the dynamic compression ratio is on. The car it's set to run. It's set at with 28 degrees of advance. That seems to where it wants to run best, and I run it on 91 pump.
Okay.
Now the car ran. We took it out a couple of times, and it ran good. My biggest problem was getting it off the starting line because it had like the slowest 60 foot of any. It had like a 5 or 6 minute 60 foot time. You know what I mean? The light went green, which is like, okay, want to go? I don't know. Talk about it. You know what I mean? Maybe it should go now. And then woof. You know what I mean? It picked up and went. But I believe we have solved that issue, and then we'll go from there. But from like let's say 100 foot out, the rest of the way, the car pulled nice, clean, and strong. Just the numbers didn't reflect the car's performance because I couldn't get it off the starting line.
Captain John H. says you don't need to give anything away. You already give away enough to the guys who come into your shop.
I try. That's the one thing. Nobody who's ever worked with me or around me can ever accuse me of taking anything from them. I always make sure, and I do that automatically because every relationship that I enter into in terms of YouTube, it to me is an experiment. I don't know how it's going to go, and I also know going in, and this is really important. anytime I get involved with somebody in YouTube land, I know that these are going to be extremely driven, extremely ego conscious people, right? Because they're not getting involved in it for the money. So there's a couple of different types of people who get into YouTube. You know, there's people who are just, okay, I can do this, and then it works out and you make money with it. And then there's other people who are like, I just need to be famous. I just need to be known. I just need to be, you know, and they're feeding their ego. And those are the ones who are the first to jump in and say, yes, I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll do anything to be famous. So I know going in when I get involved with people that's going to be their motivation. It's like this thing that they're trying to be famous. And so I cover myself ahead of time by making sure that no matter what happens, mathematically, they end up with more than I do. So nobody can ever accuse me of taking anything from them. And so I give a lot of stuff away. I give a lot of stuff away. So it's like nobody could ever say, he took this from me, he took money from me. He did. Nope, it's always the other way around. They always leave with more than they came with.
Unfinished project says you took that one guy's soul.
Which guy?
What?
Oh, that Psycho Lee.
Oh, no.
Yeah. That was bad.
Okay. Tony, do you like Florida?
Yeah, I like Florida.
Yeah. What's up, Barrow's Garage?
What's happening, Barrows?
Joe Brennan, what's up? I think everybody's afraid to comment now.
Don't be afraid to comment.
You shall not be named. That's your new name.
The Troll Patrol is so strong. I love it. But they're never on here.
No.
They hide. There'll be the reports.
Yeah.
Like tomorrow or the next day.
They're all watching.
He said this, he said that, he did the other thing. But they never speak up. They just hide in the shadows like little trolls.
The trolls. So, South Jersey Jim says, how much horsepower can a bone stock 727 from the late 60s to the early 70s reliably take?
They used them in funny car almost exclusively until 1971. 1970, there were a couple of cars, like Gene Snow was one of the first in 1970 with a Crower Glide and direct drive. But at that point, nearly everybody universally was using Turbo 400s and Torque Flights. A couple of people were using C6s. So those cars were making 1,800 to 2,000 horsepower in that era, 1970, 1971, 72. And they would get a run or two out of those transmissions. So funny car racers of the day would go and they'd have a spare engine and like 6 spare transmissions and just cycle them out of the car between rounds. But they did make it, right? So in an extreme situation, you know that you can get at least 1 or 2 passes at 2,000 horsepower and 2,300, 2,400 pounds. And I would say well-built, with good parts, not abused, taken care of. I would say 1,200 to 1,500 horsepower is probably realistic.
Stoic Steel says, Uncle Who's Garage?
Uncle who?
Uncle Who? Who? Okay, let's see. May Missile says, Tony, whatever happened to the Holly present? Was it a dual quad EFI kit?
No, I still have it actually. And I'm not sure what we're going to do with that yet.
Mexican Spec says, my wife says hi to everybody. It is a woman thing, I guess. Tell her we said hello.
Hello.
Hi, Mrs. Mexican Spec.
What's her name?
I don't know. Happy early Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Dopsa. What is the picture behind your head? Cupstanitro. Benito Magneto.
This is from 1973 issue of Carcraft. Was it Carcraft or Hot Rod? Either Carcraft or Hot Rod. And it was a showcase of that year's. It was a showcase of that year's funny cars. So this was a cartoon that was done by Kenny Youngblood, who actually signed this one here.
It's signed, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to get up and try and get closer. The glare is crazy. Okay, see.
So this is, like I said, 1973, and this was, like I said, an illustration that was used by. It was either Hot Rod or Carcraft. I don't remember because they both did similar stuff. This is probably Carcraft, and it was a pictorial showcase. This was the lead picture for it, and it was a pictorial showcase of all of the year's latest funny cars. So the thing about this picture now, and what you have to understand about this, is at the time there was like an aerodynamic like frenzy where everybody was trying all different things. So you had like the Wonder Wagon, yeah, Don Schumacher's car, the Wonder Wagon, all kinds of crazy aero stuff, and they were experimenting. So that's what this car represents. It's all of the experimentation that was going on in Funny Car in 1973. I'm sure Franco remembers this era like very well. So that's what that is.
Okay. Oops. Yeah. Bill P sent you 1999.
Thank you, Bill.
Would you be available to advise me on my daughter's blown 392 altered for a fee?
For a fee, no. But I mean, is it okay? If it's an alcohol car, I have no experience with alcohol, like at all. If it's nitro, I can help you out. I'd be happy to talk to you on the phone, if that would be any use to you.
You can, if it's not alcohol, you can email, right?
Yeah, like I said, if it's alcohol, I have less than zero
Right.
experience. I've never in my life touched an alcohol car. I got tons of nitro experience. So if you wanna talk to me about that, I'll be more than happy to help you.
Just send a message to Uncle Tony's
Yeah.
Garage at gmail.com.
Right.
Let's see. Uncle U's Garage. Uncle U. Oh, funny. Let's see. Her Mexican spec says, oh shoot, where'd it go? I just lost it. Her name is Anna
Anna
Lucia.
Lucia, what a pretty name.
Did I say Lucia? I think that's the Italian version. Lucia. Lucia? I don't know.
Oh, whatever it is.
Yeah. I said it the Italian way. Sorry.
Hi, Anna.
Super chat too. Wait. Yeah, I got it. Let's see. To stroke or not to stroke a 383 Mopar?
What are you trying to get out of it? You know, I don't know. If it's a lighter car, I'd say work with the 383. If it's a heavier car, you know, over, let's say, 3,500 pounds, then you probably better off stroking it.
Okay, so David Farrell says, didn't mean that to sound weird. I work a lot. Can you tell me why my mostly stock 440 727 bucks when sitting at a light?
Bucks when sitting at a light. Oh boy, that's such a broad question, brother man. Bucks in what way? Like you have to be a little bit more specific.
Franco says, oh yes, Swenson and Lanny.
Yeah, they had a Vega, right? Isn't that the car that? No, what car did Arnie get burned in? Was that a Barracuda or the Vega?
Let's see, what happened to the stunt carb?
I think we gave it away.
Yeah. Hey from the UK, good work on the carb and transmission videos. Great info as always.
Thank you, I appreciate that. The one we did this morning was just really just off the top of my head. I was like, you know, because I was going through comments this morning, and I was like, I gotta address this, you know. And then, like I said in the video, I'm not a transmission guy, but I can work my way through one. And I think it's part of the mission of this channel is to demystify stuff to the best of my ability. So because I'm not a transmission expert, I don't like do a lot of transmission stuff. I actually avoid transmission stuff. I really don't like it. To me, it's unpleasant. So, but at the same time, I feel that that's like kind of like the mission of this channel is to help demystify things, engines, transmissions, carburetors, whatever it is for people who are trying to learn about it. So I need to do more transmission stuff.
Okay, Bites 311 says, Uncle T, I have a 76 Pacer, daily driver.
Nice.
Today I found a little condensation under my PCV valve. Coolant level seems okay and dipstick is clean. I use 15W40.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Should I use a thicker oil for winter?
No. That's fine. It just means that you're making short trips and you're not burning off the normal condensation inside the engine. So you'll get, if you take the oil cap off, you'll have a film there. If you take the PCV valve out, you'll find like a film there. And if you were to take the valve cover off, you would find it's caked with like a brownish sort of, gack, right? And that's just because you're not letting it run sufficiently to burn off the condensation that just occurs naturally inside the engine. And as long as you're not seeing like a milkshake in the oil, you pull the dipstick out and it's just, but if the oil looks normal, don't stress it. It's not a big deal.
Jason Fitch says, I just doused my UTG shirt in rancid gas. Now
Nice.
it's broken in.
Nice.
Thank you guys for all of your t-shirt orders.
Yes, thank you
really
very much.
appreciate
We
it.
do appreciate
Uncle
that.
Crystal is like busting it, trying to like get them all done.
And that's after she got out of the hospital because they asphyxiated her with that motorcycle. It was terrible. She redlined a couple of times, flatlined a couple of times.
Flatlined or redlined?
Yeah.
Which one?
Both. Some of those comments.
Thank
were
you guys.
funny.
We appreciate your support. We really do.
No, seriously, thank you.
When are you going to see more of your first gen Charger?
Soon. I've been saying for like 2 months now, we got to get that over to the shop. When Josh's car is out, the Belvedere goes to the shop and the Charger goes to the shop.
Yeah?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, now make some Fluxy merch. Fluxy.
Can we weld up on t-shirts? Can we
No.
weld our logo onto a t-shirt?
No, you can't do that.
Even with flux core?
Yeah, no. How are you going to do that? Let's see. Fluxy, yeah. Why can't they just fill radiators with oil? A blown head gasket or crack block would never be a problem again.
I gotta think about that.
UTG teddy bears, you want to make those? We could put those in the UTG teddy bears.
Where do they come up with stuff like that?
What state are you from, Tony?
Confusion.
State of confusion.
No, I'm originally from New York, but I've been in Tennessee for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm officially a Tennessean, you all.
Yeah?
Yeah.
UTG beanie babies. They're gonna sell beanie babies. Let's see. What part of New York are you from?
I was born in Brooklyn and raised on Staten Island.
Daily driver question. Slowly losing coolant in an 83 Ford straight 6. System holds pressure. New head gasket within 4,000 miles. Oil is water free. Suggestions where the water is going.
Well, I mean, if it's not going into the oil and it's not leaking externally, it's being burned. So you say you change the head gasket, but that doesn't preclude a deck not being, flush enough. You could have a crack, probably on the exhaust side, around one of the exhaust ports inside, which is allowing some water to seep into the exhaust, so it won't affect the way the car runs, but it'll consume the water. There's a lot of things that'll do that.
Manhattan Speed shirts, please. You can't sell them.
Yeah, we can't sell them.
We
Those are
can't sell this.
copyrighted.
You know what I've been doing though? Like you guys don't realize, but like if you buy a shirt, every once in a while I'll pick someone, and if I have like a spare shirt, like a Manhattan Speed shirt or an odd design shirt, like I'll stick it in the package if
Do you
it's the
really?
same size. Yeah.
You're so generous.
I surprise people, yeah.
That's nice.
I know.
I never knew you did that.
Yeah, I surprise people. Like if I had a Manhattan Speed shirt that was just laying around that was like an extra large, and I'm like, well, Tony's not wearing that. So I just stuck it in the bag with somebody that ordered an extra large or something.
That's nice.
Especially if their orders are late.
Yeah.
Because
Because
sometimes,
we do get stuff out
yeah,
late.
we print stuff ourselves. So I want to say I'm sorry about that. Because we do get late on things.
Well, a lot of times it's not our fault.
Well,
Because
yes, of course it's our fault.
what I mean to say is it's not laziness on our part, but we'll order T-shirts, blanks to be printed, and they either won't come with it, the wrong sizes, or the order comes in dribs and drabs. So it's not, we're a micro operation, so we can't just always get the stuff in and out.
Yeah, and Uncle
That's
Crystal's
like-
been busy working, so like she
Yeah.
hasn't really been around to help, but now she's here helping. So
Yeah.
it's awesome that she's back.
It is. It's great to have her back.
Yeah, it's awesome. Zero says, let's not forget the UTG Christmas sweater, ball of yarn, and sticker that reads sweater. Yeah, we can't sell those because it's not our design, even though they're out of business.
Yeah.
Like, if I make them, like, I give them to people.
Right. Yeah, we can give them away. We
Yeah.
can print them up and give them away, but we can't sell them.
You know what we could do? Like, if people want one, we could, like, say, well, order this shirt and you'll get a free Manhattan Speed shirt or something like
Well,
that.
that's a gray area. I like the way you do it. If you wanted to surprise people with a random Manhattan shirt, I
Yeah.
think that's cool. But
Okay. So we keep seeing the turkey story, Uncle Tony. Talk about a turkey story.
the turkey story, I'll tell that next Sunday.
Jason Fitch says real estate crashes, but UTG merch goes up.
I hope you guys are paying attention.
Oh.
I hope you guys are paying attention.
Let's see. I need trans very bad for my 72 Swinger daily driver. The transmission. All right. So where in Brooklyn are you from? I'm from Greenpoint, Brooklyn. Still live here. Did you ever street race on Liberty Avenue back in the day? Samuel Jenkins.
Liberty Avenue, no. I was originally from Bensonhurst. No, street racing in Brooklyn was mostly Fountain Avenue, 150th Street. Oh God, down in Red Hook. It's been so long. I'm trying to remember all the places. There were lots of little
Long
spots,
time.
but yeah, it was a long time ago. But mostly in that area between Fountain Avenue and 150th Street, and once or twice down on Rockaway Boulevard.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, where was like TSS?
TSS was close. It was on Linden Boulevard
Okay.
and Cross Bay Boulevard, down by the bridges. We'd run there every once in a while
Okay. Because that was like really the only other spot I
Yeah.
remember, other than
in Brooklyn.
South Avenue and stuff like
Well,
that.
South, yeah,
Yeah,
that
Staten
was.
Island.
Yeah. I mean, at the time, we raced literally any place that we could squeeze off a race.
Eddie from Eddie and the Cruisers was from Bensonhurst. Did you know him?
Yeah, yeah, we were actually
Yeah.
we were co-joined twins. I didn't know if I ever talked about that. Yeah, it was weird when they cut him away.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was always like, hey man, right? And then boom, gone.
David Vizor's project when?
I'm going out to North Carolina on Friday to deliver a block and any other odds and ends that I've got kicking around here, so that David and Andy can start their end of it.
Franco says, Tony, have you ever heard the story about Manhattan Speed Shop during the Great Blackout? Oh, 77? The blackout of 77?
No.
No? You
Well, I
haven't
remember
heard the
blackout,
story?
but
Oh.
I never heard the story. No.
No, he never heard it, Franco. What is it?
For you guys that don't know, Manhattan Speed was on West Broadway, and it was literally in the shadow of the World Trade Center. And when I was a teenager, I guess it was like 15, 16, I don't even remember. I spent a summer as a messenger in the World Trade Center, and I would go past New York Speed. Wait, did I say New York Speed?
Manhattan
Speed.
Yeah.
Like every day.
Franco says the place was fortified.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
Do you remember Forks Supercars and Farrett
Yep, I
Speed
remember
Shop in
Farrett.
Brooklyn?
Sure. I actually did. I did a bunch of stories with Farrett. Which magazine was that? Well, Cars. When I was doing Cars Illustrated, and then later on we did Street Supercar. I actually did a lot of stuff with Farrett.
I don't know why I remember that.
And he was a good guy.
Yeah, New York Speed is on Staten Island.
Yeah, New York Speed's on Staten. That's on Castleton Avenue. That was Barry Petard's place, or it belonged to Steve Yaka, but Barry Petard worked the counter there. So Farad and then his cousin Pierre, who were in Mansour Machine, who hated me. He hated me.
Somebody hates you?
Oh God, yeah, Pierre hated me. He tolerated me, but he hated me because I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I go in,
You're
I
an
was like
annoying
16,
kid.
17, 18, and I was just this annoying kid. I was just like this hot rod nerd, and I'd just go there and pick his brain and you know, or try to.
Like, you're annoying now. I can
Yeah.
only imagine how annoying you were when
Oh,
you
I
were a
was terrible.
teenager.
I was terrible. I was like a sponge, and I was trying to learn anything and just anything.
Go away,
I could.
kid, you bother me.
Yeah. I was always bringing him stuff that was like unusable.
Gifts.
Yeah. You know what I mean? No, I mean like, you know, I'd buy a set of heads or whatever it would be, and I'd bring it out to, you know, Pierre, and they'd be like, it's junk.
Throw it away.
Bring him a block of junk. You can't use it.
That's funny. You'd probably still be bringing him junk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Farad liked me. We
Yeah.
got along.
Let's see. Mopars, Mustangs, and Minivan says Tony. I pick up an 8 1/4 rear from a guy that came off a 74 Gold Duster.
Okay.
Is it supposed to be big bolt pattern? He
Yes.
told me it was small.
No, all 8 1/4s are big bull pattern.
Okay.
And they take the same brake backing plates as an 8 3/4.
Can I put a B body 4-speed in my A body?
Not without a bunch of difficulty. The cross member is in the way.
How, when, and what drew you into Mopars?
Mm, I know it sounds crazy, but it was just I was born a Mopar guy. Like as a little kid, like 5, 6, 7 years old, the only cars that stood out to me were Chrysler products.
Are you friends with Richard Ehrenberg of Mopar Action?
No, Richard hates me. There's another one.
Somebody else hates
Yeah.
you?
There's a lot of people I don't get along with. My life is not a popularity contest, I gotta tell you. And Richard, how can I explain this to you?
I don't
Richard
think people
didn't
really
like
need to
me
know.
before we ever met, right?
How is that possible?
It's the same thing with Freiberger. You know, I've never met Freiberger, but the guys hated me for decades. And it was the same thing with Ehrenberg. So once he started working for Cliff, when they were doing some Mopar book or whatever, it was war. So I just...
Yeah.
But he's a great writer, and he's brilliant. So I'm like, I won't take anything away from him. You know what I'm saying? That's the other thing about me. I don't have to get along with you to respect you. You know what I mean? It's like Holdner, right? I don't like that guy at all, but I respect him. He does good work.
Joe Bennett says, UTG, did you know that Adam Sandler is from Brooklyn? Did you know him?
Yeah, Adam Sandler and I went to kindergarten together. Actually, I would draw the clouds and the sun, and he would draw the grass and the trees. It was great. We had that kind of relationship. You know?
Mr. Unpopular. That's here.
Yeah, he's very unpopular.
Scott Patterson says, have you ever heard of Gene's Speed Shop up here in Worcester, Massachusetts? It was a big deal up here back in the day.
I vaguely remember seeing ads for it in like some of the East Coast magazines, like Hot Cars and like some of those books that Marty Shore used to do, like funny cars.
Does Marty Shore like you?
Yeah,
Okay.
Marty Shore. Well, I used to piss Marty Shore off because he wasn't supposed to give me cars, right? Because I didn't have a license or anything like that, and I had a reputation for bringing test cars back in not the condition they left in. So
You were testing them. That
I was
was your
testing
job.
them, right? I sometimes I tested them so much that they needed to be towed, or you know what I'm saying. So Marty was not supposed to supply me test cars, but he did, and I got on his wrong side, I'm sure, a few times. But no, I mean, Marty's a great guy.
Well, Byrne says, Tony, that's not true. I just had lunch with Rick, and he says you know your stuff, and he likes you.
Well, now you see, there's a mutual respect there. You know, I respect him, he respects me. We both have knowledge, right? But there was a personality conflict. And I'm going back to 1980. Well, let's see, I got out of the magazines the first time in 1989, right? So this would have been when I got back into it briefly for a few years around 1994, 1995, 1996, or thereabouts, because for a while I was doing the drag racing thing and the magazine simultaneously. And that's where the weirdness and the conflicts came in. Although I'm sure Cliff Gomer had a lot to do with that too. He was,
Does Cliff not like you either?
Cliff? Oh,
He
please.
used to like you. Okay, Matthew Rich sent you $10.
Thank you, Matthew.
1972 Duster swapping in a Stroker B engine. Do you have an exhaust header or manifold recommendation for my streetcar? Thanks.
I don't. I don't have a recommendation. I mean, people swear by TTIs. I've never used TTIs. Not because of anything against TTIs. I've just never used them. You can't say I've used everything there is to use. I've never used them, but people do swear by them. Most undercar headers in a big block A body are going to be a bit of a nightmare. You know, do your research.
Samuel Jenkins says, do you know Maurice of Magnum Motors in Woodside, Queens? He's the man. Helped me build my 440.
I do not.
You don't? Okay. Ed Pink Racing engines being bulldozed for California
I just saw
Olympics
that.
bus terminal.
I just saw that. I watched that video this morning. I just saw that. Ed Pink, he's got to be over 90 years old. Yeah, what a shame, right? He's been in that building for 60 years. And, oh God, what's the name of the channel? This guy does a lot of tours. He does tours of different facilities and stuff like that. And I can't remember the name of the channel. He does really good work. Makes really good videos. And excuse me for not remembering the name of his channel. But I watched the Ed Pink one this morning. And yeah, man, the history that's in that building is just off the chain.
Joe Brennan says, legitimate question. Who actually likes UTG besides us?
I do have lots of friends.
This is Dark Tony.
This is Dark Tony, right. No, I have lots of friends. They're not all necessarily in the world of YouTube. But I get along with people who don't really have an agenda. Like if you don't have an agenda, we're going to get along great. If you have an agenda of some sort, then yeah, we don't get along. I'm not one of those go along to get along people.
No.
I'm sorry, I'm just not. My life is too short. I put too much effort into my life to compromise it with people who either aren't on the same page or they're try-hards, which is a big problem. Try-hards are a big problem. So yeah, if you don't have an agenda, if you're just you and you're accomplished on your own terms, like Kiwi's the perfect example of that. Kiwi is accomplished. He's his own man. He has his receipts. He has his business. He's successful. He doesn't need me for anything. I don't need him for anything. We don't latch onto each other, but we have a perfect like symbiotic relationship. Like we meet as equals. And so we have a fantastic relationship. I have lots of relationships like that in my life. It's when people come into it and try to be things that they're not.
Stoey Steele says, on tonight's episode of Who Does Tony Have Beef With? Laugh out loud. Oh, it's more. Let's see. Stapleton 42 did the Ed Pink
Stapleton
video.
42, that's it. Stapleton 42. I could not remember the name of that channel. But yeah, that Ed Pink tour, if you guys are into historic drag racing stuff, or not even drag racing, the drag racing was just a fraction of Ed Pink's career. He did IndyCar, you name it, he was involved in it. One of the true engine geniuses of all time. And the tour of his shop is up now. I definitely recommend that. It's great viewing. And to see this guy at 90 years old, 90 plus years old, he's sharp as a tack. He's sharp as a tack.
Tony is like nitromethane. Get the timing wrong and it can blow up.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
Does Uncle Kathy like Uncle Tony? How about the dogs?
The dogs.
I know Tony for a long time.
The dogs
I do like
love
him.
me. They love me. My granddaughters love me. That's all I care about. Everybody else, everything else is just.
Tony's easy if you understand Tony.
Yes.
If you don't understand Tony, oh, I feel sorry for you. Because Tony can be very difficult,
I can be very difficult.
and he's not going to deny it.
I make no bones about it. I make no bones about it. I will tell you up front, I'm difficult.
Let's see. I can't stand people who sit there and pontificate about things, or they talk like they are your parent. I hate that too. Dickie Froley says, Tony, please come let me ruin your life and drive some cool cars for you.
If you live closer.
Oh, let's see.
We are definitely making plans to get out this coming year. I said it this time last year. We go back to November of last year. I know I said the same exact thing and it never materialized. But this coming year, we plan on being out. We plan on going places and doing things. It's just too much time in the shop. It's my own fault. It's my own fault because it's a lot to maintain the business end of this business because it's a business, like I said, and 7 days a week, bills gotta get paid. So.
All right, does Slag Hammer need new rings, or what's up with that?
Yeah, number 6 and 8. I actually started tearing them apart today. I got the rings in the mail yesterday or the day before, and I just got pop number 6 and number 8 out. Just give it a home, throw fresh rings in it, and she's back together again. I started taking them apart this morning.
Doug Norton says, if I bring Tang as an offering, will Tony be less difficult?
No. No.
Okay. What do you think about Vice Grip?
He does good
We
work.
do watch Vice Grip every night. Not every night. Like every once in a while, we'll throw it on TV and we'll watch.
Yeah, Vice Grip is good to zone out to.
Mm-hmm.
If you just want to sit on the couch and just like go on the journey, he's like the best in the business.
What is the benefit Molly rings over cast?
Less drag.
Okay. Let's see.
But
Tony,
they're fragile.
they're what?
They're fragile.
Fragile. Tony, what's your thoughts on Rotella T6 diesel oil in gas cars?
I use on anything I have that has a flat topic cam. I either use Rotella or Delvac, whichever is on sale.
Derek was on Motor Trend on YouTube. Motor Trend?
Yes, he's got a show.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know what he meant for a second. Like I was...
Yeah.
UTG parts question. Is the 72 Torino glass and frame for the quarter window the same as the 72 Montego? Chris Greenaway. I don't think Tony knows that.
I'm gonna have to go into the bathroom there and dig out my Ford parts interchange catalogs.
From the bathroom?
Yeah, I keep them under the sink in the bathroom, and I'll research that as soon as we get over this.
I don't think he knows, Chris. He doesn't know.
No, it's in my Ford parts interchange manual.
What happens when you use hydraulic lifters with a solid cam?
When you use hydraulic lifters with a solid cam. Yeah, I've never done it. I don't know what happens. I don't know what happens. On a roller, with a roller cam, you can use solids on a hydraulic.
Should you do a test video?
I don't know why I don't know what the answer to that is. I would think that would be something that would be stored away someplace in the back of my head, and it probably is stored someplace in the back of my head, and it might be wedged someplace between like bagel recipes and my arrest record from New York. I think someplace in there. I think someplace. I got beef about that. I've never done anything I'm embarrassed about. So someplace between the bagels and my record, I think is that bit of information about what happens when you use hydraulic lifters on a flat topic.
He doesn't know. Okay, you don't know. All right. You're cracking me up tonight, Tony. All right. Ward 5 Custom says, thanks for your videos.
Thank
I was
you.
able to adjust the HDR distributor properly and tune my 1406 properly. Changed my F-150 from EFI to carb. It runs way better, more efficient, more power, really great miles per gallon.
Yep. Because carburetors are superior. Not superior to factory systems, fully integrated factory systems, the way they come from the factory. But if you're talking about aftermarket EFI systems that are intended to replace carburetors, no. There isn't a single one on the market that can work as well as a properly set up carburetor.
Zero says, like, what would Dark Tony do?
Brood.
Brood?
Yeah.
Oh.
I gotta up my brooding game. I don't think I brood enough.
J. Russell Finch says, Tony, how about making a cartoon video where you can speak freely within the motoring community and bang some heads? People don't know I'm a cartoonist.
She is an
I'm
excellent
actually a
cartoonist.
cartoonist.
Like
People don't know because
like-
I'm busy making video.
Yeah, publication quality cartoonist. I speak freely, man. I don't really hold
But I
back.
could always make a cartoon of anybody. Anybody.
I don't really hold back. I call a spade a spade. I partially hold back when I feel that the person is, retarded, right? I'll hold back. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to take advantage. I don't want to be a bully, right? But other than that, I don't hold back.
Let's see. I used 2050 in my Chevelle. Oh, okay. Zero says, yeah, turn your rude up. We don't want Tony to be rude. You really don't want Tony to be rude.
I'm not a rude person.
He's not a rude person.
I'm really
not. Like, even a little bit. Like, he's really nice. He's really nice.
I go out of my way to be polite, right? I never have any interaction with anybody where I don't say please and thank you and excuse me. And I go out of my way to be extra polite, to be extra considerate, until I get mad. When I get mad, it's just a whole different story.
Which is why it's always best that you're quiet when you're mad.
I stay quiet when I'm mad. Yeah, that's the other thing too. If I'm mad at you, you'll know that I'm mad at you because I don't talk to you. You know what I mean? If I stop talking to you, if I stop communicating with you, it means that I'm mad. And as I found through the course of my life, as I get to this end game of life, I find that that's the best way. Just shut up and walk away.
Numbnut says, Uncle Kathy, need to make a cartoon of Dan and Danny for when they come down. UTG, do you love me?
Yes, unconditionally. UTG generally means no harm.
Do I still have any of my artwork? Yeah, I do. I do still have some artwork.
She doesn't like to show it.
No. Gotta tell you, I like Rude Tony. Oh, not really. Because he's not rude like a regular person. Not really.
I have my trigger points.
Yeah. It's the guy thing, better to be quiet than lash out. Exactly, Peter Kovacs, yes.
Yeah.
We don't want Tony to lash out. It's not a good thing. Okay, you got the sodas on the table. All right.
I used to have a pretty crazy temper. I
Yeah.
don't have that temper anymore.
Thank goodness. Let's see. Magnum Rude. Have you rolled any hobos lately? What?
Do you remember the?
Yeah, that's
thing?
old.
That was a while ago.
Zero says, I love Uncle Tony's original artwork. Yeah.
Do we have that?
Actually, yeah, I have one on the shelf. Yeah.
Grab it. Show the people who haven't seen that.
Yeah. Clean in the shelf. And I found this one. See this car? See, this one's wrinkled, but Tony made it. Yeah, he's good. He's good. He's talented.
Yeah. That was when we first started the channel. right? And we first started selling T-shirts, and which was only like maybe like 6 months after we started the channel. We had enough momentum that we were able to start selling shirts, and we gave that away as a premium. If you bought a shirt, we gave you a signed copy of that. Do you remember how many of those I signed?
Yeah, a lot.
Oh God, that was crazy.
They were funny. I thought he was supposed to mail that out. We did. Like, we put one in every
Yeah.
T-shirt that people ordered.
Yeah, we made like 1,000 copies of that. And
Yeah.
I signed all. She's like, okay, you got to sign some more. That was a long time.
It was a long time ago, yeah. Sarah says, my brother Jerome, rest in peace, told me once, you're the biggest bomb with longest fuse. Yeah.
Yeah. As you get older, you learn to like separate the fuse from the bomb. You know.
Let's see. Tony, I paid way too much for a Mopar Performance B-tunnel RAM. What do you think of them?
I've never used one. I have no doubt it's going to be a quality engineered piece, but I've never used one, so I have no experience.
Eugenio Brianti says, we're the original subscribers. Thank you for hanging around.
Thanks. It's been a wild ride, right?
Yep.
4 years. Can you believe
No.
it's been 4 years?
Yeah.
It was 4 years. We
It's a soda. Get it down.
we registered the channel in like 2017, but we didn't do any
Technically,
videos.
it was our anniversary the other day.
We didn't do any videos until September of 2019.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wait, 2019? Yeah, 2019, 2020. No, it has to be 2018
I don't know.
because it's 4 years.
It's all a blur.
It is a blur. But yeah, it was just 4 years.
You remember the 24-hour marathon?
We've done
Horrible.
We've done over 1,000 videos. There's only about 770 of them, or whatever number they have up there now. But we've done over 1,000 videos, and then lives.
Yeah.
And at least one a week. We took a little vacation for a couple of months, but at least one a week for the last 4 years.
J. Russell Finch says, I'll never forget that marathon for the animal shelter. That was funny. Tony made it. Oh, that was brutal.
That was brutal.
Never do that again.
That was brutal. I would do it again. For the right cause, I would definitely do it again.
Tony, what is required to change from the booted drive shaft to regular one on a 63 Dodge 440?
You're talking about a trunnion. What's needed? Go to a Jeep place. Bring your drive shaft to a Jeep place, and they'll make you one that has a slip joint in it. Other than that, the only other way you can do that is to pull the transmission apart and change the output shaft.
Blaze Garage says, I'm building a 350 Chevy truck motor, 325 horsepower. I plan to use a flat tappet RV cam. Which company should I deal with buying the cam and lifters from?
I can't. Everybody's having problems across the board.
You can't recommend
I can't recommend anything for camshafts. I was just saying, and this is important because I've got a guy, him and his kid are gonna do freshen up an engine in my shop over the next couple of weeks, and just went through this. He needs cam and lifters, and I told him, find new old stock stuff, go on eBay and try to find old box lifters, and no recommendations. Everybody is wiping out cams and lifters.
Mm-hmm. Ethan says he liked the bonus quarantine lives in 2020.
We did it live every night when the quarantine got started. We went 7 nights a week, every night for an hour or two.
Did you ever spend time at Baldwin Motion?
No.
What's up, Barry?
Harry, what's happening, brother man?
Paint dry. The UTG paint dry live stream was lots of fun. Yeah, you guys had a good time with that. Let's see.
That was over a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
That was a year in October.
Ragtop DLX ZL1 says ARP studs on a windage tray sounds like overkill.
I don't know about on a windage tray, but oil pan bolts, valve cover bolts, stuff like that, yeah, overkill.
Tony says he'd do another marathon, but he can't concentrate or read the chat after 12 hours. That was brutal.
I would do another, if it was a worthwhile cause, I would definitely do another marathon.
Yeah. Let's see. New old stock cam and lifters if you can find them.
Yep.
Where do you find them?
eBay.
Franco says I like Howard's stuff. New OEM vehicles are having cam issues, Stoic Steel says. I don't know. What are you going to do about the cam and the 318 build with David and Andy?
It's going to be a regrind, and it's going to be a regrind to David's specifications. But I don't know.
Let's see.
But at least on a regrind, we know the base metal is good. We know that it's a good, blank.
Les Cadaver says, what's Dallas been up to?
I don't know. He messaged me the other day. He's working on that Buick motor that he's got. It's for a super stock application, and he was having issues with jetting. He was playing around with jetting and pump shooters and stuff like that. As far as I know, that's really the only thing he's working on.
Todd Venio says, what transmission is in my 63 Dodge 440 with a 318 poly?
It's going to be 727.
Let's see. How did we meet?
It was one of those, like the Russian bride type of thing,
You're right.
So I got a good deal on her.
Any more live engine builds in you, Uncle Tony?
She keeps telling me, no, don't do that again.
Well, because you said I'm never doing that again.
Well, yeah, I know, I do that with lots of stuff.
Right, yeah.
But then I go ahead and do it again. Well, it's like childbirth, right? You have a kid, and it's
Yeah.
like, I'll never do that again. And it's like, 10 minutes later, I want another kid.
Yeah, but you can't concentrate while you're...
It's hard to concentrate.
On
But
video.
but I do like, I like being under pressure. I like being under the gun. I like being disadvantaged so I can fight through things. So it's miserable while you're doing it, and then afterwards it's like, I won, right? So I don't know. There'll be more. There'll be more.
Got a good deal on her, but the return policy sucks. That's nice. Jason. Very nice. Let's see. Christian says, couldn't find a decent Mopar. Got a 69 Thunderbird with the suicide doors and a 429.
Those are cool. Those are cool.
Let's see. Did you enjoy the MacGyver series you roll on a cigarette back in the day? Whom in your life is the MacGyver in your eyes?
I am MacGyver. No, I never watched I know the premise of the show, but I never watched the show. Did I? I may have seen like an episode or two of it, but the basic premise of MacGyver, yeah, that's me.
Let's see.
Turn away.
If I could, I would definitely answer Charles Manson's question. I don't know what it is. Oh. Let's see. Turning away. I don't know what his question is. Oh, it says, for the love of God, the fate of the universe hangs in the balance. The only thing that can save it is if you kindly answer my question. But there's no question.
You can look at me now.
Okay, you done?
Yeah.
All right, I don't see your question. I'm scrolling up.
Ask
Oh,
me.
here it is. Tony, what would you suspect would be wrong with an HEI distributor that gets choppy beyond 4,000 RPM? Already swapped out the coil, pickup, and ignition module. I'm out of ideas.
If you swapped out the coil, the pickup, and the ignition module, and none of those things made a difference, what's the voltage going into it? Okay, what you did there was you put an HEI distributor in an earlier car that has the resistor wire for the ignition. And you used the resistor wire to, the original ignition wire in the car to power the HEI. And that's not gonna give it enough. You need to run a direct battery voltage. You can't go through the resistor wire.
Nova Guy says, I lost my 23-year-old son in September and just wanted to tell you he really liked watching your videos. Thanks.
Oh, geez, I'm sorry about that.
I'm really sorry.
What's his name?
Nova Guy. I don't know what his son's name is.
Oh, Nova Guy, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Oh, condolences to you and your whole family. It's really hard. What's up, Wendy English?
No, Wendy.
Tony, or maybe even Dark Tony. Why is time relevant?
It's not.
No.
It's not. The time is just, it's a construct so that we can deal with the dimensional realities or the dimensional perceptions that we have.
Let's see. Bed 66 Chevelle says, do you need tall LA valve covers for Magnum 5.9 with a factory roller camshaft?
No.
What was the first Mopar you ever had?
First one I ever owned was a 66 Charger that I never got out of the junkyard. I bought it and it got forklifted through the doors. I ended up leaving it there. I got my money back.
Take us to the garage right quick.
Yeah.
Why? See, you can see the dust in there? We got to clean out the garage.
I haven't touched any of the bikes in like 3 weeks. I got it tomorrow. I got to make it a point of firing them up and going around the block.
Nova Guy says it has been tough, but we just keep motoring in his name. Nathan. His name is Nathan.
Nathan? Yeah, Nova Guy, I mean, that's all you can do, man. It's all you can do. Is just keep your eye, keep moving forward. I'm sorry, though. It's just a
We're
terrible
very
thing.
sorry. Can I draw a caricature of Dark Tony, something with a collared shirt and a flat top? Sure, I could draw anything. I used to love it when I would.
There's Dark Tony.
It's Dark Tony up there. Look, it's Blue Thunder and Dark Tony. No, I would love it. When I used to draw all the time, I drew for a living. I used to draw for a living. And people would be like, they would look at a mural or something that I just did, and they would be like, they'd look at me and they'd be like, can you draw a fish? And I'd be like, of course I can draw a fish. Why wouldn't I be able to draw a fish? I just drew a 1,500 square foot mural. Of course I can draw a fish. I think that's the funniest thing. It's like for some reason in people's minds, unless they see it, it doesn't translate. They're not sure that you can draw anything else. It's funny. 4Track sent you $9.99.
Thank you.
Hey Tony, have some smoke funds. I'm making progress on the 75 Duster I got on trade. I've been trying to get more knowledge on older things, but I got working with a Super 6 swap and 3-speed.
Sounds like fun.
Let's see.
We have to do more daily driver stuff. I think we've been under.
Yeah, we have.
We've been underrepresenting just the regular daily driver stuff.
We have. That's why I wanted to work on the Charger though, because the car hasn't been touched since it's been in the driveway.
I know.
And we really need to get it to the shop. I want to do the interior. I have the carpet for it. But those cars, the amount of parts in the interior is so many, and you have to take the whole interior apart just to put the back carpet in. Everything.
Those first generation
It's like thousands
Chargers,
of parts.
seriously, those first
That's why it's
generation
not
Chargers
touched.
are unique among all of the 1960s Mopars.
DeSoto.
They're unique. Everything about them is specific to that car, and it's extremely overdone. You know, like in every way you can overdo something. Pretzel went out of their way.
Let's see. DeSoto, yes, DeSoto. But what about this fish? Kathy, but what about this fish? Yeah. Can you draw a fish? Yes, I can draw a fish.
You should show some of your artwork sometime.
Yeah. I have those cartoons I did that I was gonna do the kids book. So I really I enjoy illustration and cartooning and stuff like that.
And
I don't have
my
time.
granddaughter Caitlin takes after her. She'll just sit down and just blow out.
Can I
drawings
please
and-
draw a fish on the side of the tow truck? Draw Fluxy. I can draw Fluxy.
Yeah, you should just draw like random fish on the side of everything we own.
Okay. I thought that was the funniest thing ever. 4 tracks, sent me $4.99.
Thank you.
That's the goal on the duster. The box was fried, so it has points distributor in it. I like to make a feather duster clone because it's base model.
Just find one of those the A body 833 overdrive transmissions, and yeah.
Let's see. Can you draw 2 fish? Maybe a red fish or a blue fish? Sure. Ari says, Kathy, I want to do the voices for one of your cartoons. Sure. I love drawing cartoons.
Do you have anything handy you can show them?
No, all my stuff is put away. Everything is put away. I don't have. I think in the girls' room I have that watercolor I did of Poppy with the aliens coming down through the window and she's eating a bag of chips watching television.
Right.
That sounds complicated, but AT sent you 5. Kathy, do you have any prints of your
Thank
art
you.
that are available for purchase? Can I ask how did DeSoto get his name? No, I don't have prints. No, honestly I would love to draw, but I don't have time. I just don't have the mental capacity. But I always think I have time before I'm gonna go to sleep to sit down for a couple hours, and I become exhausted, and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna get in bed. So it doesn't work. Maybe I thought about doing some of the cars. Maybe I'll think about it. I can stay awake long enough. I didn't know you're a muralist too.
She has done murals. And when I say I mean murals, the last one you did was for that kid store.
Yeah.
Wally Perot, was it?
Yeah.
This place had 20-foot tall, well, I'm going to say 15 to 18-foot tall ceilings, and it was huge. It was like, how long were those walls? They were like 30 foot or so.
Yeah. 30 feet.
30 feet by 15, 18 foot. It was a very high ceiling building.
It
And
was about 15 feet.
And she did the entire thing in
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Muraled all of these like characters, you know, like cartoon characters, and you had to and vines and
It was
trees.
Beatrice Potter, basically. It was that type of storybook thing.
I'm not
Yeah.
familiar, but
It's a kid's book.
it was off the chain, and that was like the typical stuff that she would do.
Yeah. I don't like to hang off ladders anymore.
You remember that?
What?
We used to.
I would hang literally like a monkey.
Yeah. Yeah. When we say that she's an artist, I mean like she's legitimately like an artist, not
Thank
just
you,
who just
Sophia.
hobby draws.
Yeah. I used to make a good living when it was busy.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, it's not always busy,
Yeah.
depending on the economy.
Well, when we lived in New York, she
I had much more work in New York.
she made bank in New York.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when we moved here, it's like a different culture. It doesn't really doesn't lend itself.
Less homes here to work on, more businesses. Only businesses
Well, people
I
have a
have here.
different taste here.
Yeah.
You know, up in New York, everybody wants
And
stuff
over the top.
marbleized and you know.
I did
trees
marble
and
here.
This Venetian background and shit like that. And here in Tennessee, people just like paint the wall. I mean, it's like it's good enough paint the wall.
You know. Let's see. UTG, on the coldest day of the year, what's it like to start a dual quad 340?
No different than starting a single quad. Just pump the hell out of it, hold it quarter way down, and let it rip.
Artwork is either chicken or it's feathers. Gotta freeze some chickens. I don't understand.
I don't either,
Jason.
but it makes sense.
Okay.
Yes.
On this
It's just,
episode,
it's just beyond our capability to understand it.
on this episode of UTG, Tony makes friends with everyone, and Uncle Kathy draws a fish.
I'm friendly.
Tennessee
Mostly.
fears arty people? No, they don't.
No,
No,
lots of
not at
arty
all.
people here, they just don't pay for it here.
Yeah, there's just not money for that, or it's not really.
Different priorities.
Yeah, different priorities.
In New York, people like to show up. They have
Right.
to. They have to have the most elaborate thing, and it's not like that here in Tennessee.
Yeah. So the Mona Lisa. Do you think there's a need for the 6, 8, and 10 speed transmissions? I feel
No.
that 3-speed and 4-speed ODs are sufficient.
Absolutely not. It's absurd. The regulations have pushed the manufacturers to do stupid things, and then on top of that, so the big. This is how I see it. This is how I've seen it for a really long time. The biggest problem we have, one of the biggest problems we have in corporate America, is bloated staff. So they'll hire an engineer, and then they'll hire more engineers, and then the budget says they have to hire more engineers, and each of these engineers has to earn their keep every year, because they're constantly under pressure to produce. And so you can take something that's perfected, you cannot make this any better. You can't make it lighter, you can't make it more efficient, you can't make it simpler, you can't make it anything, but you've got all of these engineers and their staffs and everybody that depends on them making a change to it and then selling that change as an improvement. And it's not an improvement, it's just a change for the sake of change. And I think that the vast majority of the technology that has really made cars impossible or difficult or appliances is all due to that.
Oh, Jason says you're either making money or making pennies in the art world is what I meant.
Yeah. You have to be in the right place to make money in the art world. Like for instance, we had an art gallery.
No, you can't make money with an art
We tried that for
gallery.
like, I don't know, was it a year and a half? We
Yeah, I
that for like
had
2
an art
years?
gallery, yeah.
Oh,
You
my
cannot
God.
make money. It's
You
brutal.
cannot make money with an art gallery.
And artists are jerks, I just want to say.
Yes, artists
I'm
are
not the
jerks.
typical artist.
We dealt with some real
Winners.
basket cases. In the,
Illustrators, though, they're really great people. Illustrators and designers are excellent people. Fine artists, no. I have much experience. I can say what I want to say.
fine artists, they might as well just put a stamp across their forehead that says "validate me."
Yeah, it's
Right?
really bad. It's really, really
Seriously,
bad.
it's horrible,
It's terrible.
and you can't make any money with it.
No.
Because you have an art gallery, people they'll come in, they'll drift in, they just want to look at the art, they don't
Yeah.
actually want to
And
buy
then you
it.
go, no.
Right?
Who wants to buy
Oh,
that?
smart, right? Then not when you can go down to Hobby Lobby and
Right.
pick up a print for $12.
Yeah.
Who's going to buy this art? But we tried it for
Yeah.
a while. We had it
I
for
mean,
a
it
while.
was interesting. Yeah,
It
I
was
didn't like
interesting. It was. I'm glad we did it. It was an experience, but man,
Yeah. They're all communists. They're all communists.
they are all commies.
Yeah.
Yes, they're but they want the money.
Right? Oh, yeah, please. They
They're
want
all
their money.
communists, but damn it, pay me.
But you can litho t-shirts. Yeah.
So it just depends on what part of the art world you go into.
Yeah.
Now the part that she was making money with was just people that had a lot of money that wanted their
It's just a
areas
lot of interior
personalized.
design work. Yeah.
So it was just money to burn. And it's like, oh yeah, mural on that wall, yeah, $8,000. I'm like, oh okay, yeah, boop, boop. And here's, here you go. But that doesn't really exist anymore. That was all
Opposite of commies.
That was all pre-2008.
Yeah.
That was all pre the 2008 crash. You had people spending money like that, and then after post 2008, it kind of that whole thing just disappeared.
Yeah. Let's see. Um, Tony, are the Red Ram V8s good engines?
The polyhead or the yes, all of those 1950s engines were Dodge engines were great. The only one that I recall any issues with are the first generation Red Ram Hemis, the 241s. The first 2 years they had bad crankshafts, or there was a situation, a balancing situation. I don't remember what it was, but they would break crankshafts. But the later ones after that, they were excellent engines.
Oh, sorry. When is Winky coming back?
And when I say break crankshafts, I mean just driving down the road. I don't even know what high performance. Winky's gone. Winky's been parted out.
Yep.
Over. Done. In the past.
This is not capitalism advice.
No. How could I possibly give capitalism advice? What would I know about capitalism?
Let's see. Have me muralize the box truck? No, I don't want to do any more
No.
murals. I did it. I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
I'll do cartoons. I'll do illustration. But I don't want to do any more murals.
The murals, when she
They're
was doing the
painful.
murals, yeah,
It hurts.
it's
Grueling.
an extremely physical thing. You know, you would think, oh, it's just standing and drawing.
No.
But no. There are positions and things and areas and
You're up in the air.
You're up in the air and you're hanging off of stuff and you're frozen in this position while you do this and it's.
I remember my shoulder would like be like on fire.
Yeah, she used to climb around like a monkey. It was crazy. Not the kind of thing for.
It is so funny though too because like with that big mural that I did, the wooden for Lolly Perot, somebody came in, the different, not the fish person. They were like, and I was there, and they were like, "This little girl did this mural," and I was insulted. I was like, "What do you mean? What do you mean this little girl?" Because I'm not that big, but still,
it was giant.
It was giant.
Giant mural.
Yeah, I guess you don't. I don't look like the person you would expect
Floor to ceiling.
to have done that.
Front to back, all the way around.
Yeah. Let's see. Illustrate the box truck then. Doesn't have to be a mural, just show your chops. No, I don't want, I don't care if anybody sees my chops. I've done it.
You mean you only did it for the money?
Oh, the money was good. The money was good. I don't have to prove myself anymore. Like I did that when I was young. I don't have to do that now. I know what I can do. Let's see.
See, she's the perfect example, right? Like, because I'm open about it. I do things for the money, right? This is my job. You work your job to make your money. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing about an artist. If you're an artist and you have talent, and she has talent, and you do it for the money, like, you can make money. You can do good,
You
right?
can. You had to hustle, though.
But when
You gotta run it like a business.
When you're an artist and you've got talent, but instead of doing it for the money, you're doing it because you want to be Rembrandt, or I mean, I'm not an artist guy, so I can't. You want to be a famous artist. You want to be known. You want to be recognized. You want to.
Oh yeah, that never happens.
You want to create emotional reactions and people. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Well, no, then you go nowhere.
And
Okay,
just go cry in your room.
That's a dead end, right? You're gonna spend the rest of your life eating ramen and being regretful. Okay, but if you just say I'm an artist and I'm doing this because I want to get paid, you'll be successful. You'll make money because you'll find the venues that require a professional artist, and you'll fill that void. There's nothing wrong with doing stuff for the money.
Well, why wouldn't I do it for money? You have to make a living.
Because you're gonna walk. If you made a
you're
video
sellout,
and said, I'm an artist, but I only do it for the cash. People are like, you're a terrible person. I can't believe you would do that.
Oh, those are the communists.
Yeah, those are the communists.
Right.
Yeah, capitalism can be a beautiful thing and bring out the best in people.
Yeah. Let's see. Here's a historical fact concerning artistry, aka paint. The yellow paint back in the day was made with cow urine. I don't know. I've never heard that.
I've never heard that. But, I mean, anything's possible.
Let's see. Did you get
What can you make out of this cat? That's what I want to know.
DD Speed Shop.
DD Speed Shop?
No, he admits to being a professional hack once you cash the first YouTube check. I don't understand why people think it's bad to make money. Like, is that how is that a thing? Taking care of your family, like that's bad somehow.
What money is a good tool. It buys you options. The love of money is bad. The love of money is corruptive. But to recognize money as a tool and as the thing that gives you options, then that's a healthy outlook towards it. And to do things openly, I'm doing this for money. There's nothing wrong with that. It's honest. It's straightforward. To delude yourself to say, well, I'm just doing it because, well,
Because I'm such a good person. He's so full of crap. Let's see. The UTG channel is an art car? No.
I like stuff like that, right? I come across art cars and stuff like that, and I get a kick out of that.
Caravaggio was a real artist. Do you like Caravaggio, Vince W?
I have no idea who that is.
I know who it is.
I know, of course you do.
He's an interesting artist. Let's see. Not enough
Caravaggio
tools
used to be a
in my
collection
wallet.
guy for the Genovese.
The Genovese family.
Yeah.
He did a lot of religious art.
Okay. When he wasn't collecting.
When he
was
wasn't
not making
collecting.
collections, yeah.
Let's see. Didn't Tony do an art bike? You did, Tony.
I did. A motorcycle. It's still sitting there.
Let's see.
I was bored one morning.
Yeah. Talk fast, Uncle Tony.
Sure, what is it?
Live Elton John concert starts soon on Disney Plus. I remember when Rock was young, had an old gold Mopar and a place of my own.
I can't believe he's still around.
Yeah, yeah.
There was a couple of things he did that I liked. I don't remember what they are.
BPAT B Cars and Stuff sent you $2.
Thank you.
Can you explain why Holly guys hate Edelbrocks? And he's laughing.
I don't know, it's a snob thing. It's a snob thing. Both have their place. I like both equally. There are certain applications where I'll only consider using a Carter Edelbrock. There's certain applications I'll only consider using a Holly, but they both have a place.
Dee Speed Shop is on here.
Oh my God, I can't believe it.
Why isn't Tony wearing a UTG shirt?
You
You
know-
feeling okay?
Oh shit, why would I wear a DD Speed Shop shirt?
That's a good question.
Oh, because they sent me a tent.
No, you have DD Speed Shop shirts. DD Speed Shop shirts that fit you.
You know,
That was a tongue twister.
they jacked a gallon of gasoline from him,
I saw.
right? Like that's terrible. I hope they got the Mounties on it.
I think they caught him. I saw he put a video out.
In Canada, they draw and quarter you for stealing.
Gasoline?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Kiwi's garage shirt. Are there any Kiwi shirts?
Kiwi needs merch.
Yeah, he's.
I'm going to see him tomorrow. He's got one.
Don't talk about it.
I'm not going to
Don't
talk about
ruin
it, but there'll be a Kiwi video tomorrow.
Don't ruin it.
But supposedly he has one that's like off the chain. So we're going to go see it. We're going to go see it in the morning.
Needs the Kiwi bird on it. Oh, of course.
No, he needs to have Dan's picture on his shirt.
Yeah, Dan's picture.
DD Kiwi.
This is Dark Tony tonight. So you've been watching DD Speed Shop's videos?
I never miss a DD Speed Shop video.
Well, how could you? It's clickbait all the
Exactly.
time.
As soon as I see the clickbait, I'm like, I gotta watch this.
I saw some guy go off on Facebook about the clickbait.
I love it though. I love it. But you see, he's got the right attitude. He's got the right attitude. Because it's like, here, clickbait.
Right.
And his viewers, his people who understand him and understand where he's coming from, they get it. And they're like, they'll play along with it. And then you get the other people like, that's all clickbait.
He says,
There's no Sasquatch in there.
DD Speed Shop says, hey, it's truth bait.
Truth bait. I love it, man. I love it.
Do you think that we could make even better clickbait titles than they do? We should have a competition.
Cannibals from space ate my baby.
And we could do better than that. We should have a clickbait competition.
Do we have that magazine here someplace?
It's somewhere. I don't know. I'm not taking it out. Cold War Motor says, "Can I play?" You
Well,
should do
clickbait?
that. Yeah, clickbait.
We should all try to
Yeah.
out clickbait each
Yeah,
other.
I just said that. Why are you stealing my ideas?
Because I'm trying to make it look like it's my idea.
Oh, okay.
You know how that's I
Yeah, I know.
Right? Yeah, we should all try to out clickbait each other. Danny's got a head start on us though.
DD Speech Up says, "Ha ha ha, challenge accepted." Cold War Motor says, "Game on." Clickbait is great, Dakota says.
You guys are gonna force me to do irrational things.
Torino Light says, "What's clickbait?" Tony is going to be the one to take clickbait to the extreme.
I have to see if I can find that magazine. Hang on a second. I think it's right here.
UTG versus DD Speed Shop versus Cold War Motors.
Battle of the Clickbait
Battle of the
Champions.
Clickbait Champions, yeah. You guys come up with a title for it. We'll do it. We'll definitely do it.
Okay. So-
Cold War Motor says, "Yeah, I'm out of my depth here." No, you could totally do it.
So this is from 1995. Okay. So the story behind this is a real
It's a
magazine.
real magazine.
This is a real magazine. So the story behind this is that
You can't get this issue though.
yeah.
Only Tony has this issue.
Only I have this issue.
It's Popular Mechanics.
Yes. And they printed a couple of hundred of these. So this-
Clickbait Deathmatch. Oh,
What's
that's
that?
a good one. Clickbait Deathmatch.
yeah. So the story behind this, okay, was that when I was working for CSK Publishing, and I was doing Cars Illustrated magazine. So we were on deadline, and it was my job to do the title, well, I have many jobs, but one of my responsibilities was to do the title, the head, the blurbs, right? So the cover was due in the morning, and I stayed till like the middle of the night trying to come up with like all of the cover lines for this thing. And I did. I came up with cover lines that I thought were okay. So I submit it in the morning, and I was like, it's like 8 o'clock in the morning, and this thing has to ship it in like 9. I got like an hour, right? So I submit it, and we worked with Popular Mechanics was different company, but we shared brain trust, if that makes any sense. So the editor of Popular Mechanics was a guy named Joe Oldham, and Joe Oldham had the final say over anything that CSK published. Does this make any sense, or am I running off on that? So I submit the cover that I drew up, and Joe Oldham, he has like a meltdown, and he's like,
It's a meltdown.
he has a meltdown. He's like, what is this shit? What, Joe? This is terrible. You know, you sell the sizzle, not the steak. So when I did the cover lines, it was all like very straightforward stuff. You know, camshaft selection for 350 Chevy, whatever it happened to be, right? You know, whatever those lines were, they were very straightforward. And then Joe Oldham, he's like, go back to your office and redo this now. So I was like, okay, fine. He says, yellow journalism, you sell the sizzle, not the steak. So I go back to my office, and I'm like, okay, fine, yellow journalism, you sell the sizzle, not the steak? Great. So I put out an issue of Cars Illustrated. I sent it that said, cannibals from space ate my baby. So it was the logo of the magazine, okay? And then big bang line right underneath it just said, cannibals from space ate my baby, and it was a picture of a car underneath it. So it was nonsensical, but I was pissed off. And I wasn't on payroll. I was getting paid as a freelancer, as a contractor. So I didn't give a shit. You can't fire me, right? So I send this thing, and it goes to the printer. And they've sent back the first initial copies of the magazine, like the first like 10,000 copies of the magazine. And they all said, cannibals from space ate my baby on the cover of Cars Illustrated. This caused a meltdown of epic proportion that like echoed through
Were
different
people mad
corporate-
at you, Tony?
Oh, they were furious. Like, beyond
Did people
furious.
hate you?
Beyond furious. So because they printed like 10,000 copies of this. And I just didn't care. I was a punk kid street racer from New York, and you're making me do these magazine titles. All I wanted to do was just go have fun with cars, write a story, and get paid. So they recalled the magazines, and it ended up costing the publisher like $50,000, whatever it was. And this is like 1988.
DD Speech Up says, I'm shocked Tony would do something like that.
I used to shut it all the time. So, so at any rate, make a long story short, they ran a special edition of Popular Mechanics a couple of years later, and gave me one of the copies. You know, it was like after the storm had passed, they all got a good laugh out of it, and they printed a bunch of these and gave me one.
Oh, there you go. Fun, Tony. Very fun.
There was the story about page 12.
Yeah,
Did I
you
ever tell
did.
that
Yeah,
story?
not on here. Not on here.
So I was what they call a packager, right? Meaning that I was going to get paid for the package. So
The magazine package.
for the magazine
Some
package.
confused people. Some people don't know what magazines are now.
All right. So the publisher, they own the title. They have all the means of production, but now they need people to actually produce the magazines. So you could be an editor where you get paid by them as an editor job. You could be a writer, you get paid by them as a writer job. But I did none of those things. I was a freelancer and I was a packager. So basically, they'd pay me to hand them a magazine that was done. So, and it was good money. It was good money. I mean, back in like 1980, in like the late 1980s, I was getting like $6,000, $7,000 to package a magazine. It was nothing to sneeze at the time. So we're putting out, I forget which magazine it was, and we send out, it was a rush job, and we send out the manuscripts, we send out the package to the art department, and we get a call back from the art department, and again, we're on deadline, we're always on deadline, we're always behind deadline, and they tell us that, hey, you're missing page 12. I said, what do you mean missing page 12? And then I went back, we have a flow sheet, and then I realized, yeah, we didn't have anything for page 12. And they're like, this thing's got to go like right now. The printer's waiting for this package. You know, and that's the way it worked back then. You know, it's like you're scheduled to get your package to the printer so the printer can run it. It has to be there like that hour, or they just put you off and they'll print somebody else's thing. So we had to come up with something quick. So we made page 12 the feature part of the magazine. And on the cover of the magazine, it says, you got the lines here. It said, this issue, page 12, right? We put it right on the cover. And then we put in the contents, we put page 12, the 12th page of this magazine. And then on page 12, we had the artist draw up real quick, like this really elaborate number 12 that took up the whole page. And we sent it. And it got published like that. And those magazines are out there.
Yeah. Oh, funny.
This issue exclusively,
Nice.
page 12. Do you have a copy of that anywhere?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think we have that one, actually. I haven't seen that one. Before cell phones, yes, Floyd's Garage.
We were still on rotaries.
Remember how much all those phone calls used to cost? Oh, long distance?
My phone bill back in the 1980s
It's a lot of money.
was like $500 a month.
Yeah. Agent Pepsi One says, my husband and I love watching your content.
Thank you.
Let's see. What about smartphones? Look it up on eBay. Which issue was it? You don't know?
It was one of the last issues of Cars Illustrated. So Cars Illustrated became Muscle Mustangs and Fast Fords. I left CSK Publishing in 1988, and I went across the river and worked for Harris Publications. So, and as soon as I left CSK, they renamed Cars Illustrated Muscle Mustangs and Fast Fords, and that's where that title came from. And Evan Smith became the editor of that. He was another YouTuber. So it may have been the last issue of Cars Illustrated that I did. I don't remember what's on the cover. I don't remember anything about it other than just that page 12 was.
What's that noise?
What's the cat?
Oh, is that the soda?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a weird noise. We need the true Hollywood story of the life and times and meteoric rise of Tony DeFeo. I don't think you need that.
Yeah. It was a zoo. The magazine days was a zoo.
That's the dogs making that noise.
I was probably certifiably insane, probably around that era, 1986, 87, 88. I did a lot of crazy shit.
No, you had calmed down by then. When I met you, you were crazy.
Yeah, but I calmed down. I've calmed down in phases, in stages.
But I'm saying by the late 80s, you had calmed down a lot already.
Yes.
Do we still have chickens? No, we don't.
No.
They're gone. Chris Greenaway says, I remember reading that magazine in high school in shop class.
Cars Illustrated?
So you're on for 2 hours now.
Has it been 2 hours already?
It's been 2 hours.
All right, we'll hang out for a little while longer. As soon as you're ready to pull the plug, you give me that look.
I'll give you the look.
Give me this look.
Is that the look I
Yeah,
give you?
that's the look you give me. And we'll call it. All right.
Tiki Froly says, that makes sense. I always told Tony he could be my dad, and I was born in 87, the middle of his craziness, basically. Laugh out loud.
Those were crazy days. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
I was a kid, but I was a kid left alone in a candy store. You know, the edge that I had was that I was the only real car guy, because magazine people, you know, I don't want to make a broad statement. I'm not going to make a broad statement like that because there are magazine people who are real car guys. But I was more of a real car guy than them. Like they were going to school and I was building cars, you know. So yeah, when we were younger, like their education had to do with learning about writing and blah blah blah, and my education was on the street. So when I entered into that world, I was able to bang out material fast, like really fast, and that was my edge. So because I was able to cover so many pages in so many magazines, God, back then, Muscle Car, Cars Illustrated, High Performance Pontiac, Vet Magazine, High Performance Mopar. I know I'm leaving titles out, but I was able to bang out so many stories in so many magazines that like I got away with whatever I wanted to get away with. It was awesome.
PAW catalog was like a Bible.
I remember those. It always irked me that I had a blown big block Chevy on there instead of a Hemi.
Andy says, love the PAW catalog.
People remember the PAW catalog.
All Hail Internal Combustion says, I remember when magazines were everything. I used to have the dates they came out memorized. I used to read my newborn Muscle Car Review. Yeah.
I never wrote for Muscle Car Review. They were our competitor. They were down in Florida. That was Dobbs did that. And I was up in Jersey at CSK doing Muscle Car. Actually, it was after we started doing Muscle Car magazine that they changed, because Muscle Car Review was originally just Car Review. And it was a great magazine. And then the Muscle Car thing really started to get big around 1986. And they changed the name from Car Review to Muscle Car Review.
PAW and J.C. Whitney.
I think Paul Zazarine was the editor at that point.
Do a DD speed shop and get footage of a hooded figure outside your shop, and build a clickbait series.
Clickbait wars.
Let's see. What is the YouTube channel for the UTG after party? Still hanging here, but preparing.
Ari the Bernia.
Ari, throw up your link now
Yeah,
so
throw up the
people
link
know where to
now so
go,
that-
because we're going to sign off in a few minutes,
Yeah.
because I'm having a hard time keeping my eyes open.
Yeah, if you guys are having fun and you want to keep it going, go over to Ari's channel.
Ari says, hi guys. Hi Ari. Put the link to your channel up so people know where to go as soon as we sign off.
Ari, you're gonna inherit all of the YouTube. I'm gonna leave you YouTube in my will.
Yeah. Um, Ari's show is great. The head of car and driver said it's always easier to teach a car guy to write than teach a writer about cars.
When I started writing, I knew nothing about writing. I mean, literally, I didn't know how to spell. I didn't know how to punctuate. I had no idea what a paragraph was. I literally I got thrown out of school, went to work, did a series of things, right? Went to work for a Chrysler dealership. I worked there for 2 weeks, and then I realized I'm not cut out for a job.
Well, you had your first shop when you were 20. Yeah,
I
no.
had a shop before I met you.
No, that was the one. With Tommy Bouban and
Oh, right.
That was your first shop.
That was my first shop. Before that, I worked out in front of my parents' house. I worked any place that I could work. And I went to work for a Chrysler dealership for 2 weeks. I sold a Chrysler Plymouth on Highland Boulevard. And I was there for 2 weeks. And I realized, no job, no good. And then on a whim, I said, I'm going to do magazines. I swear to God. I should go blind, okay? I should go blind. Where she'll, we were out of money, right? We're out of money.
Always out of money.
We were always out of money, okay? We're out of money.
We had no parental support
Zero.
whatsoever. It's kind of why it's hard for us to look at like kids that like just spend money like crazy, because we're like, are you serious?
You have no
We
idea.
live on macaroni and cheese and rice-a-roni.
We traded a car for a
remember.
motorcycle.
Yeah.
Because the car ran out of gas and the motorcycle had gas in it. And we took the last like $1.20 we had and went on a motorcycle to the supermarket and bought a 5-pound bag of rice and a thing of bouillon cubes. Okay, that's the level of poverty we had reached. So I'm walking through we were in a studio apartment, and there we had a phone on the kitchen wall, and behind that was a TV, and I would take whatever the latest magazine I had was and put it on top of the TV. And I walked in, and I looked at the magazine sitting on top of the TV, and he says, I swear to God, this is exactly how it went. You know, I think I'm going to write for the magazines. I'm going to be a magazine writer. And I opened them up, and they had, where it's published, right? And I saw it was in Hackensack, New Jersey, and it was a phone number for the office. So I went there's the magazine there, I had the phone number, and I picked up the phone off the wall, and I dialed the number, and he says, hey, I want to write for you guys. So help me, this is how it started, right? This is how it started. So it was, Linda Arkin was the one who answered the phone, right? And she says, well, I think they might be looking for somebody. She says, let me put you through. So she put me on with Cliff Gromer, who was the editor at the time. So I said, hey, I want to write for you guys. So he says, all right, well, what are your qualifications? I says, well, I'm a mechanic. He says, okay. He says, what about writing? He says, do you do anything else? I says, I'm a street racer. So he says, you're a street racer, really? He says, yeah, it's what I do. I fix cars and I street race. And he's like, well, we could use somebody to read through technical manuscripts. Do you think you could be a technical editor? I'm like, sure. I can do this. This is I swear to God, listen to me, right?
That's how easy it was in the 80s.
Okay, Kathy, am I making any of this up?
No.
Am I exaggerating in any way, shape, or
that's
form?
really how it happened.
So he says, why don't you come down to the office, right? We'll talk about it. So I says, great, I'll be there in a couple hours. So I jumped in the car, and I ran out to Hackensack, New Jersey, and I met with Cliff, and he says, and he hands me a stack of articles, manuscripts that are going to go into the magazine. And he says, here, read through these, and if you see any technical changes, anything you need, make a note or make the change. So I did. So he hires me on the spot. I went through these manuscripts real quick. I handed them back to him. He says, this is exactly what we need. And he says, how much you got to get? So we negotiated a deal. So they hired me as the technical editor for this string of car magazine, CSK Publishing. And I did that for about a month, okay? And then I realized that as I'm going through these manuscripts, finding people's technical errors, I'm rewriting big portions of their stories to make the error not stand. Does that make any sense? Okay? Because these weren't car people writing these things. Like, they liked cars, but they weren't like blood and guts car people. They weren't mechanics. So I would start rewriting paragraphs to make things fit and make things sense. And I said, wait a minute, I might as well just do this myself. So I stopped, I quit the job as a technical editor, and I started freelancing. And they had 5 titles, and they had to do a magazine a week. And so they had to do a whole magazine, front to back, 100%, had to be produced within a week's period of time because I had another one, and all this stuff was on a very tight schedule because of the printer. So I was able to just bang out stories, and I didn't know how to type. I mean, I literally, to this day, right?
Yeah,
to this day, I still type like this, okay?
Yeah.
I taught myself how to type.
You type fast though.
They hired a copy editor for me because I didn't know how to write. I didn't know how to punctuate. I didn't know how to do any of the stuff. So they hired this guy named Jim Cosks, he's still in the industry. He does industry newsletters and stuff like that. And they hired him. He just came out of school. His job, they paid him as a full-time job to read through my stories and fix them. You know what I mean? So that they were legible. And the rest is history. I did that for 4 years. Hundreds of stories.
Michael Gonerman says, looking up Cars Illustrated right now, just saw a Tony quote, nail the brakes, here come the porta pots.
That was a road test I did on, what was it? That was an IROC Z. So at the time, I was a drag racer. It's all literally, I only envisioned life as a straight line to get from here to there as little time as possible. That was it. So they brought me out to this road track to do a test on the IROC Camaro, and I'm like, what do I do with this? There's turns. I don't know what to do with that. I know how to go from here to there. So I did the road test on this car, but it was like just completely nonsensical. Just hold my foot to the floor and like steering, sliding around. And I almost took out a row of porta pots.
Oh, Hemi Hayes says he's trying to submit a super chat, but it's limiting him to 50 characters these days.
Oh.
When it indicates I should have 200, can you explain why this is? No.
No idea.
That's
they started
YouTube.
doing that like last week or the week
Yeah,
before.
that's YouTube. I'm sorry. Thank you, though. We
Thank you.
appreciate the thought.
We appreciate the thought for sure. Thank you.
Let's see. You also tested the Batmobile.
I did a drag test on the Batmobile.
We need a UTG land speed record attempt at Bonneville in 2023. Bottle rocket or slag hammer or a super bird.
Dude, finance it. That's all I can tell you. Finance it. Get me a crew. Get me $100,000, and let's do this.
You
let's
should
this
do a
thing.
best of Tony DeFeo mag articles. Be a good read. You can do that. Like, you own that stuff.
I do own all that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, I did a drag test on the Batman, the actual Batmobile, one of the original Barris Batmobiles, which had a 289 Ford in it, and the car weighed like 7,000 pounds. It was ridiculous, and I did a drag test on that.
The Italians didn't know what to do with an IROC.
You can Google that if you look up, just Google images Batmobile drag test. That's me in the Batman costume doing a.
Well, people are driving the Batmobile all over the place now. I see.
Yeah, but that was different. That was back in the 80s.
Yeah,
It
in
was,
the 80s.
yeah.
Hemi 68 sent you $5. Keep up the great content and education.
Thank you, man.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Hemi
it.
Head. Okay, so the Batmobile, the 42nd quarter mile.
We wrote it up that it was so fast that so we couldn't get a time on it because it sucked the timing lights off the track.
Is there a go-to cam you go to when building a small block?
No, just depends on application. When we did the Batmobile drag test, I was at the track that day to work with for Jerry Caminito, the Blue Thunder car. Franco knows him well, and we lined up in the story. We took Jerry's funny car and put it in the far lane, and we had the Batmobile in the near lane. So we've set this whole thing up as if we went to Gotham Dragway to match race a funny car with the Batmobile.
Funny. Bill McKiska sent you $5.
Thank you, Bill.
318 is a better work truck engine than a 360. Your opinion?
No, I think the 360 has the 360 has a mechanical edge with that little bit of extra stroke. I have both. I got a 360 in my wrecker. I got a 318 in the carry van, and that 360 in the wrecker is just it's a beast. You know, for what it is. I mean, it's not fast, but man, it's got torque.
Iceman 2K10 says, Uncle Tony, if you could choose one article as your masterpiece, which one would it be?
From Buick with balls.
Yeah. You think so?
Yeah. If I had to pick one, I think a lot of them. Two, right? One was three. From Buick. From Buick with balls is the one that comes to my mind instantly. But I did a two-part story for Superstock and Drag Illustrated called Cheap Thrills. And it was about tuning nitro motors. It was all of the basics. So if a guy knew nothing about nitro motors and wanted to learn how they worked and how to put a basic tune-up in one, I did a two-part story, and it was like five pages in each. It was just like an info dump, and that was in Superstock and Drag Illustrated in like 1996. I think it was 1995, 1996. And I was very proud of that one. Because afterwards, there were many people who came to me and said, you know, I only put this car together because you took the fear out of it, right? So that was one of them. And then I did a story in Hot Rod magazine called A Few Moments in Hell, and that was in the April 1997 issue of Hot Rod, and that was me with my fuel alter. So I'd say those three are probably my favorite.
What's up, Lizzie Whole Ranch?
Hey, man.
Pirate Greg says great content.
Thank you.
Did the Batmobile smoke the tires?
It was almost impossible. It had a really tired 318. The Bondo on that car, I am not exaggerating. The car, you couldn't see it in the pictures because, things always look better in pictures. But the car had fissures in the bodywork, and it was just bottomless Bondo. It was like they didn't even bother trying to form metal. All they did was sculpt that entire car out of Bondo. So it was stupid. Like it was insane. And it started out as a Lincoln. So it started off heavy to begin with. And then they added all this Bondo to it. And that car was like 6,000 pounds. And it had a very tired 289 in it. And it took a long time. But we did get a burnout. Like I said, if you go to Google Images and you go Batmobile burnout, you'll see a picture of the thing doing a burnout. That was me driving it.
What's on the 2B says Taillight Spotter's Guide as a sidebar.
The Taillight Spotter's Guide was definitely, that was a story I did called ZZ Stop. And it was a drag test on a 1987 Formula Firebird or Trans Am. I don't remember. It was a Pontiac. And I hated the car. And I took it. I didn't want to take it street racing, but I had to take it street racing because that had become the formula for the magazine. So I took it to Fountain Avenue and got my ass kicked every way you can get your ass kicked. And I hated the car. It was slow. And the name of the story was ZZ Stop, making a slow motion run to Yawn City in Pontiac's excitement machine. That was the name.
I'm sure Pontiac loves you.
Oh, please. But you know what? Listen, I told it like it was, right?
They'll hate you, Tony.
So I did this. I did a very elaborate drag test on it, and I documented each of the losses, right? And at the end of it, I was like, we needed to stretch it one more page because when you do a magazine, sometimes you end up with an odd empty page and you have to fill it. So we had an odd empty page, and we moved the odd empty page to the end of that drag test, and we did a Taillight Spotter's Guide. So the premise of that was, if you're going to buy one of these cars, you better get used to seeing the taillights of all of these other cars, and this is how you can recognize them. So we had taillight shots of the Mustang,
So you could say who beat you.
the Grand National, the IRA. Yeah, we had all of the muscle cars of the day. We had the pictures of the taillights and described how you'd be able to spot them from the distance as they pull away.
Chris Freemaster says Tony's still here, Pontiac is not. That's true.
I made it.
You made it.
I did a road test, not a drag test, but I did a road test on the very last Pontiac Fiero. Like literally, it was the last one that, I don't know if it was the last one off the line, I think General Motors keeps one, but it was the last one actually put out. You know, and it was a white one with a black interior, and it was with Scotty Guadagno from PG Performance, and we went down to Darlington for the Winter Nationals. And when we came back, I needed a picture because I had to do the magazine. I needed a picture that was fitting, and I heard that this was the last one that killing the car. So we pull into a cemetery, and I took a picture of the car in the cemetery, and that was the lead shot for the story.
Very good, Tony. Good night, everybody.
Are we done?
No, people are saying that they'll see you later.
Oh, okay.
Say good night. Let's see. So, yeah, I think we're done.
Are we
I
done?
think we're done, yeah.
And there was the
Ari's
Hemi,
got to start his show.
the Hemi Daytona drag test.
We can save that for next time.
Yeah,
We'll save the Hemi Daytona drug test.
that was great.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, that's it. Another Sunday night. Man, this one flew.
That's good.
This one flew. And I'm heading over to the bus depot after this. And we
You
gotta,
can take your
we gotta
measurements.
take some measurements. I heard Greyhound has some new ones under there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna measure height. I'm gonna measure width.
See how much room you got?
See how much room we got under the bus.
Okay.
It appears that the new buses have some more room. So
Oh, awesome.
yeah,
Excellent.
that's important to me to know all of the dimensions underneath the bus.
Mm-hmm.
So, guys, everybody contributed super chat. Thank you so much. It pays the bills. Thank you. Everybody contributed just with your presence and your conversation, and just thank you. And our mods, Foobar, I don't know if I saw Foobar.
He's here,
Foobar's
yeah.
always here, at least. And Ari and Zero, thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you for buying our merch.
Thank you for
We
buying our
greatly
merch.
appreciate it.
Thank you for everything.
Helps a
Seriously,
lot.
we are very grateful for all of you guys.
Thank you for commenting on our videos
Yes.
nicely.
I even thank the trolls. Thank you, trolls. You send people to us, and I appreciate that.
And you give us lots of comedy
Keep
gold.
doing, exactly. Keep doing your thing. And
We just laugh and laugh and laugh.
all right. So that's it, guys. We're out of here, and we'll see you next Sunday night.
Good night, everybody. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Oh yes, have a happy Thanksgiving. I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
We'll see you next Sunday.